VP of Ed message. For my message as president, I am thrilled to tell you that we have our keynote speaker for our open house. That will be Miss Victoria Cox. She's actually our district director. She sees over 4,000 people. Wonderful lady and enthusiastic. So I'm thrilled to have her for that. Remember that your dues are due this month. Hopefully, as soon as you can put that in, that will help our treasurer to make that go. We are blessed that Ent Corporation pays some of the fees, so we are only having to pay a portion. The portion that you see is the one that we have to do. So when we get back into the saddle of the meeting in person, they pay for they let us have the meeting space and so on. And the last thing is, think about if you want to be a winner, because we are having a contest come up, and that is with our area and then a bigger area and a bigger area, and you can be a champion. And I'm just telling you about that because we are champions, and I want to see you all thrive. I had one contest. It was a storytelling contest, but this one is different. And I have to bring my service dog everywhere I go. So I incorporated her into my speech, and it was real fun. And I think everybody will have a good time. It should be a hybrid meeting, and then they will do the winners from there. But it's kind of like being on TV. And if you ever wanted to be on TV, this is your good practice. That said, I'm going to turn it over to VP of Ed, whoever is doing that piece, for 1 minute of education inspiration. Will that be you, Arturo?
Yes.
All right, ready, go.
Thank you. I would just say the biggest reminder is I love it when things run really, really smooth. So I would just say to confirm your role on Easy Speak as much as you can. That way it makes it a lot easier for the Toastmaster. And also as well, you guys want to be part of the Google groups, because whenever you're Toastmaster, you want to send a reminder to the Google groups saying, hey, remember to sign up for a role or confirm your role. If you are not part of the Google groups, let me know, because send me an email or reach out to me, let me know. That way we make sure you are part of the Google groups. So when you are Toastmaster, it's very easy to send an email to everybody and just reminding them to confirm their role and to sign up for a role if they haven't. So that is my 1 minute message.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Arturo. I see Michael. Hello, Michael. Good to see you. Glad you're here. As Mimi is saying, it's not necessarily a VP of Ed thing, but it's hugely, hugely helpful for somebody to pick up that ball and get it rolling. That said, I am now going to turn our meeting over to our illustrious Toastmaster of the day. We have been looking forward to the Lady of Pearls, Miss Marilyn J. That pearly smile and those pearls on. I should put mine on. Take it away, Miss Marilyn J.
Thank you, Madame President. And so glad to see each and every one of you most amazing, inspirational Toastmasters here today. I, Miss Marilyn J., am your Toastmaster for today. Excited to be your Toastmaster. I'm all decked out in today's theme. Today's theme is about blinging and shining. And actually, you guys are all superstars. So like you're blinding me right now. That's why I got on these shades. But whatever makes you feel like you are shining and what represents that, just in the physical. So I see Miss Kim over there looking good. And like I said, everybody's shining from the inside out. So I love it. So I'm so excited. So I am your Toastmaster, but I don't do this thing alone. So I am going to get into introducing my team who helps me handle this and get this meeting flowing. So first, I would like to introduce our ah counter, ask her to unmute herself and tell us about her role being the ah counter. And that would be Miss Shanita. You got to unmute yourself, though, for us to hear you.
I'm unmuted. So I guess my
Teach us how to read lips another time.
The sound isn't working again today. So
we can hear you.
looks like my sound again now. Oh,
We can hear you now.
oh, great.
It's a little low, but we can hear you.
Okay. Louder. Yes, I miss you guys. I all of your ums and oohs and ahs. I will be looking for some good things that you do as far as your verbiage. Also, let's get some word usage that I can get some
Okay, yeah, I think yep, your sound is a little patchy. All right, but we know what the eye counter does. We'll count on you to be on your job and to report to us later. And next we are going to get to our grammarian, which I believe Miss Taisha volunteered or was voluntold.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. To be honest with you, I thought the grammarian was the ah counter, and I was looking for ums and ahs and so here's we have a position to learn something now. So just correct me. Give me the definition of the grammarian.
The grammarian, you're actually watching for a couple of things. You're watching for good use of business English.
Okay.
And I say that because it's not the King's English and it's not Rocky Mountain American English. It's the way we're going to talk to those business people and make business deals. And that's one of the pieces that we're learning here. The other one is anything that's haywire, that's not quite that way. If people say things, or for example, if they say, that's the ah counter. But if they do a few things that you notice, that's not quite a full sentence, I'd like to help them out with that. That will polish their ability to speak forward in their world and in other areas. So those are pieces that you provide by really listening to how they're promoting or saying things for themselves and how you could help them improve that, and also to celebrate their good use of language. And that's about it.
Thank you. So I'm just going to make sure the English doesn't sound broken and it's very able, it's spoken so we can all understand what she's trying to say. And that is the title of the grammarian.
Awesome. Thank you. And what a great explanation, Janet. We appreciate that. Always come through. And next is going to be the timer, which is your favorite motivator's favorite motivator, Mimi the motivator.
So today I will be giving the timing for Miss Kim's speech and for table topics. And to time my speech will be Arturo. So I want to confirm that Miss Kim's speech is 5 to 7 minutes. So you'll get green at 5, yellow at 6, and red at 7. And then at table topics, I'll do green at 1, yellow at 1.5, and red at 2. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Awesome. Thank you, Mimi. And up next to give us their role would be the word master, who I have here as Michael. I typed a word in the chat that I had suggested, but if you have one, we'll go for it. So word master, you are the master.
I will approbate your word choice. I think that our word of the day should be approbation. As Ms. Marilyn J. posted, it's meaning praise or approval. I'll be counting your use of the word approbation, and at the end, I will give a count of the winner. To you, Toastmaster.
Awesome, thank you. I have so much approbation for you being willing to use my word of the day. So thank you, Michael. You are awesome. And next, a very important part of this team is the general evaluator, and that is Mr. Arturo. Let us know what you're going to be doing for us today.
Greetings, Toastmaster, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. The purpose of the general evaluator is to evaluate everything that takes place throughout the meeting. During the meeting, I will take notes on everything that happens and doesn't happen. I will evaluate each participant on the meeting program and look forward for good examples of preparation, organization, delivery, enthusiasm, observation, and performance of duties. At the end of the meeting, I will give my report. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Awesome. Thank you, Arturo. And thank you to each and every one of our functionaries here who are participating in today's meeting. And it's time to get into the fun stuff. I believe we're going to do round robin evaluations. So we did not have specific evaluators. So we're going to get right into the fun stuff, which would be them speeches. So first up, giving her speech today is whom I know as Credited Kim, and that is Miss Kim Connor, aka Credited Kim. Her speech today is titled "Be True to Yourself." Kim Connor, aka Credit Kim, is working on her Pathways Dynamic Leadership, understanding your communication style. I believe that is. So I am going to pass the torch over to Miss Credit Kim to do her thing. Give it up for her.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was 2019 of October when my CEO of my company by the name of Novate reached out to me and asked me, how many people can you get in the building? I started to panic. I'm like, usually when they give events, he wanted to do an event here in Colorado Springs. When they give events, I have to speak, I have to say something, I have to be on stage. I'm a total introvert. I was going insane. My daughter stopped me. She said, Mom, they didn't ask you to speak. They just said, how many people can you get in the building? I was like, oh, you're right. So I started going to different events, inviting people to come to our event that our CEO of the company is going to give. So the event was planned for February 8th, 2020. Lo and behold, the night before, he calls a conference call to everybody. I was the host and all of the guest speakers that were supposed to speak for that night. He gave us all a part. One of my parts is the host has to go on stage, speak, and congratulate everybody for being here. I had never been on stage a day in my life. So my limiting belief started to kick in. I'm not enough. I don't have a speech plan. I don't know what to say. I was also responsible for printing the paperwork and applications for the event. The morning of the event, my computer broke. I started telling myself, oh my God, you're not going to make it. You're going to be late. You know, those limited belief systems started to kick in. I called a friend that was coming to the event. She's like, no problem, Kim, I have a printer, come to my house. So that pushed me back on studying and rehearsing what I was supposed to say for my speech. More limited beliefs started to kick in. It was my time. We got to the event. The event was sold out. Pretty much. Well, it was free, but it was a packed house. So we had to get chairs from the waiting room to bring into the room. But all of my friends were there. So that was super excited. The CEO, it's go time. He gives me the mic. Everything he told me to say, everything I planned to say, he gives me the mic and I just went blank. Nothing he told me to say came out of my mouth. Nothing that I studied came out of my mouth. So I just said, yo, 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 everybody stand to your feet. And I told the audience, I don't know about you, but I work on vibration. Let's get this party started. And I just started moving. I started just moving my mouth, my lips, my body, you know? And then people started clapping. I had a DJ that was playing music because Rocky had a theme song, right? Kimberly's gonna have a theme song too. That is what helped me to get over my fear factor. Because nothing that they told me to say came out of my mouth, nothing that I had planned to say came out of my mouth. That is the first day of my life when I realized that it was okay to be true to myself. It was okay to be me, and people loved me anyway. So today, my name is Kimberly Connor, and I'm going to be sharing with you one of the books that's my favorite book to help me to overcome my fear factor and also my limited beliefs. It's the book by the name of 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. So one thing I want to help you guys do today is to overcome any limited belief factors that you may have of yourself, and also realize that it's okay to be you because you are amazing. So I want you guys to take out a pen and pad. There, you'll find those on your desk because the host has put them there, right? So yeah, I just want you to write down these 4 of my favorite agreements. Number 1 is be impeccable with your words when you're going on stage. Never, ever, ever tell yourself that you don't have it all together. You don't know what to say. And another thing that I want to share with you guys, find out what you used to like to do when you were a child. Take it back to your childlike qualities. You know, remember when it was Christmas Eve, when you were a kid, you didn't sleep at night. You know, same thing when you're preparing for a speech, no sleep. Your palms were sweaty because you were, quote unquote, as an adult nervous, but as a child, they're not nervous, they're excited. So be impeccable with your words. I'm excited, I'm not nervous. Say that to yourself and just remember how you felt on Christmas Eve. Also, I want to share with you guys, never, ever, ever make an assumption. Oh, they're not gonna like me. I'm gonna forget a word. I might fall off the stage. Never, ever do that to yourself. So never make assumptions. Instead of that, what I want you to do is go back to this belief that be impeccable with your words. My audience loves me. My audience is going to adore me. I'm going to prepare this speech. I'm going to speak to give and not to get. And remember to always do your best no matter what. Even if you forget some things out of your speech, nobody knows that but you. The audience don't know what you're about to say. They just want to see you succeed. It's like a football player fumbling a ball. He picks it up and then makes a touchdown. Get to the finish line. Remember that. Always, always do your best. And I just want to share a couple of tips with you guys. When you're on stage, don't walk away from the audience. Go forward. That way you feel like you are a part of the audience. If you feel yourself getting, I'm going to say excited because we're taking nervous out of the vocabulary. If you feel yourself getting excited, move closer to the audience and talk to one person at a time, not the whole thousands and thousands of people that you see in the audience. Find one person that you have their attention, talk to them for one sentence or two, and then move on to the next. I also heard to imagine that everybody in the audience is in their underwear. Ew, I don't want to do that. So what I do is I imagine that my mother is in the audience, my best friend in the whole entire universe. She's gone now, but I imagine that I'm talking to her as my mother. If you have a best friend, talk like you're talking to your best friend. That will take all of the nervousness out of your speech. So before I get off of this stage, you guys, I want everybody to unmute their mic. If you were in the audience, you'd be doing this with me. And I want you to repeat after me. I'll wait.
Oh, wait.
I'll wait. Okay. So I want you to repeat after me. It is no problem.
It is
It
no
is no
problem.
problem.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
My audience loves me.
My audience loves me.
Audience love
And
me.
it's okay to be true to myself.
And it's
And
okay,
it's okay to be true to
myself.
True to
Thank you guys.
myself.
That's my time. I love you, and I'll see you at the next meeting. Have an amazing day.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So I have much approbation for Miss Kim giving that speech today. And I want to give you guys about a minute or so to send her any words you want in the chat or to jot down your initial thoughts for feedback. And also, I want to share with you as well, while you're doing that, Kim's speech again was on the dynamic leadership path, understanding your communication style. And her question was, had you ever been nervous when giving or preparing a speech? The tips, she gave us tips to get over that fear factor. And what she is looking to deliver, and of course would like feedback on, is her giving the speech in a timely manner, looking for opportunities of clarity, eye contact, and audience engagement. Keep that in mind when you are giving your feedback to Ms. Kim. Thank you, and I believe the timer should be timing. Okay, feeling like it's been about a minute.
Now it's
All right. There we go. All righty. So thank you guys for taking that moment to give some feedback and jot down your notes. We're going to keep it going here with another most fabulous, awesome speech. I want to make sure we have someone who is timing for Mimi. Do we have Mimi's timer?
Yes, I am ready.
Arturo. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. All righty. So we have Mimi the Motivator, your favorite motivator's motivator. The title of her speech is Bye Felicia, Tough Decisions and Conversations of a CEO. Being the leader of an organization, even if it's your family, sometimes you have to be the bad guy for the greater good. Today, our speaker will share an intimate story that she recently experienced as a CEO. Welcome, Toastmaster Jamia.
Sometimes things get to the point where you just have to say, bye, Felicia. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, I recently stepped into this position as a CEO with the group that originally began as 9, then it was 8. And then by the end of this story, you'll find out how many exist now. So there we were on Zoom, because everybody lives on Zoom now. It was about 2 weeks ago. I called an emergency meeting because we had been trying to get this operating agreement signed for, I feel like forever, but maybe it was just a couple of weeks. I don't know. It was forever though. But every week, even before the operating agreement, we kept having another hurdle or speed bump laid before us to slow us down in the formation of our company. We started on this process in July and now it's September. And every single week for about 4 or 5 weeks in a row, it's one person who keeps being the agent of chaos. We call him the anti-one. So the anti-one probably should have been gone a long time ago, but in this kind of position, it's not so easy when all of us are the boss. All of us are members of the leadership committee. We are all owners of the business. So you can't fire an owner. You can't fire the boss. Now I did attempt, is what I want to say. Well, I had a conversation that I was hoping that would lead us to that point where I would have to say, well, maybe this just isn't the thing for you to do. But by the end of that conversation, I was convinced that he was gung-ho and had my back and was ready to move forward, because he said it wasn't him that was slowing us down. It was him that was keeping us on track. When I say he was the agent of chaos, the anti-one, Man, I can't even go into it. So here we are at our emergency meeting. So what I have learned on this pathway of team collaboration is that you definitely have to include the team. You have to present options. So the options that I really just wanted to present him because he was the only one who had an issue, I presented to everyone. So I had to go around the room and ask everyone, what is your level of interest in this, that, and another? And then I had to go around the room and be sure that everybody was going to put their initial investment in that they were going to put in. So I could finalize this document that I've been trying to finalize for 2 weeks and get it signed so we can get the bank account open and we can make all the millions. But we're still in a meeting an hour and a half later with the anti-one, still posing hurdles, still laying out the roadblocks. So finally, I got to that point where I knew I had to make the decision. I had to make that tough decision. I already had the crucial conversation, but that didn't go so well. At least it didn't get the resolution that I was expecting or that I knew that our team needed. See, when you're in the position of being the CEO or the head chief in charge, you have to be willing to be the bad guy. You have to be willing to say some uncomfortable things. You definitely have to be willing to feel uncomfortable because I was definitely uncomfortable with what I knew I had to say. So there we are, we're going around the room. Everybody has said that they are 100% in except for you know who. Then he had questions. And now he's questioning, how do we come up with these equity percentages? I'm like, that was last week's conversation. Are we going to have another meeting about the meeting we had last week? I'm like, Lord, have y'all ever had to have a meeting about the meeting? You know how you have the pre-meeting, then you have the meeting, then you have to have the post-meeting about the meeting? Lord have mercy. I used to be the queen of it. Now I just want to have the meeting and get it done. And I wanted this meeting to be over. I was looking at the different faces on my little Hollywood squares and faces were looking like this. I even was looking like that at some point. At some point, I had to do this because I didn't want anybody to see the faces that I was making. Okay, I was turning colors. I was over here burning Palo Santo. I was doing anything and everything I possibly could to maintain my vibration and to keep this professional as I possibly could. And then finally, I said, Antoine, because I can't call him anti-one to his face. I think we've come to that point where I'm going to have to just ask you to gracefully bow out. Now, those were the prettiest words that I could come up with, y'all, okay? I promise. I didn't know any other way to say it. So I repeated myself. I just think you should gracefully, just go ahead and gracefully bow out. I appreciate you. We love you. And I appreciate everything that you are doing here and out in the community. But I really believe that you should bow out. So then the vice president unmutes himself and says, Mimi, what does bow out mean? I said, at this point, y'all, I'm over my eyebrows. I'm over my hat. If I had my hat on, it was over my hat in frustration. I said, bye. And then Miss Marilyn J. unmutes herself and says, now you know you have to make it plain and clear for him. So I said, bye, Felicia. And he left. And ever since then, we have been moving forward and making progress. And everything has been hunky-dory. And everyone has reached out to me individually saying, thank you. So I know I made the right decision. It was tough. It was uncomfortable. But sometimes you get to the point, professional or not, where you just have to say, bye, Felicia, Madam Toastmaster.
All right, getting myself unmuted and back on camera. All right. All righty. So thank you, Mimi, for that speech. And again, I'm going to ask everyone quickly to jot down your thoughts and her quick message. Give us about a minute on the time. Everyone can give her some good feedback while it's nice and fresh. All right, I hope y'all got some good feedback for the ladies today. We are going to get into those evaluations shortly. All right, and I'm feeling it should be around about a minute or so. So we're going to keep things moving here, keep the fun going. It's about to get even more exciting because I am bringing our table topics master to the stage, which is none other than thine president, Miss Janet Sellers. Come on up. And
Thank you so much.
Table topics.
Everyone, I must say that I would like your approbations on this topic. It's actually a double topic. And that is, as you all know, today's the first day of fall, at least in our hemisphere. Not in Australia, not in New Zealand, but here in the Northern Hemisphere. The other issue for September 22nd is, and I only know this from my children, I did not read the books, today is Hobbit Day. Today is Frodo Baggins' birthday, which I had to look up because I didn't know who he was. But all of that said, it's his birthday, and as you know, he would have first breakfast and second breakfast. I'm going to ask for some volunteers, and if I don't get any, I'm going to have some voluntold. Raise your hand. I have a few questions for you to answer for table topics. Anybody interested? Raise your hand. Let me see a hand. Oh, I see Arturo. I see Chanita, Lynn, your friend. I don't see Michael raising his hand, but I might call on him. Arturo, I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite second breakfast? You don't have to have had a first. I can't eat first thing in the morning.
I would say that my second favorite breakfast would be a burrito. Just a delicious breakfast burrito would be my second favorite breakfast, especially when I get up like at 4 o'clock in the morning to go for a hike, to do a 14er. Me and my roommate, we before we start our hike, sometimes we just get a breakfast burrito that he prepared the night before, and it's just a great way to just start the hike. And it's got to have some egg and maybe some rice and some bacon. And I love it when it's nice, the burrito's nice and toasty. I love it. So, and that's actually what I'm craving for right now. So that would be my second favorite breakfast, and could possibly be my first, but we'll say it's second for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The piece that I was shooting for on that one, apparently in this story, these little hobbits who live in Middle Earth have first breakfast, but they always get hungry a couple hours later and they have a second breakfast. And I looked that up, and the first thing I found out is that in Germany, they have a first breakfast at 7 and they have a second breakfast at 10 in the morning. And I had thought that Tolkien had made that up. Now I'm here to tell you that I tried very hard to read that Tolkien book and I could not do it. It was so wordy, but my kids told me all about it, so I was clued in. That said, I'm going to ask Chanita Lynn, your friend, since today is the first day of fall, do you have a favorite something about the autumn season, and what may that be? Please go ahead.
I do not have a favorite something. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, great. Yeah, I do not have a favorite thing about autumn. I don't. Autumn has never really been a time of year that I looked forward to. It meant the celebration of Halloween. So I never celebrated Halloween. So as a child, I felt really left out. So I really didn't look forward to this time of year. But it is beautiful to see all the seasons. In my adult life, I have begun to really like to drive up to see the changing of the leaves. But you always think about, from childhood, when you answer these questions, your childhood comes up, what you think about it as a child. But as an adult, I now that I'm talking and having the opportunity to talk this over with you guys, I do look forward to seeing the changing of the leaves. And I have had the opportunity to drive up to Castle Rock and different places and see the leaves changing. So that is something that I look forward to. Thank you for letting me have this self-examination.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that, Ms. Tanita Lynn, your friend. Michael, I'm going to ask you and give you the freedom. You can talk about Middle Earth, you can talk about first or second breakfast, or you can talk about the season of fall. Go ahead.
Thank you, Janet. Personally, I was just thinking about fall yesterday as the weather had kind of come a little bit cooler in the springs and the air was blowing. And I was thinking to myself back to my high school days of all the experiences and the different things I associate with fall. I did marching band in the fall in high school, so all that music flowed through me, and I remembered the football games and just the sound of the speakers playing and the energy coming from that. I remember the leaves and the beauty and all of that. But I will also take this time to say that I also appreciate the idea of second breakfast. I find often I get a quick snack to run out the door and to get to work on time. But then if I'm really hungry still, I will go out and find a burrito because I love a good breakfast burrito with some meat and eggs and maybe some cheese and potatoes. It sounds so good. And you all are making me hungry. So with that said, I love fall and I love second breakfast. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we had 3 table topics speakers. We had Arturo, who told us about his favorite thing to have on a hike when he goes up a 14er, and that is a breakfast burrito. Made us all hungry. We had Miss Chanita Lynn, and she talked about not particularly liking fall, but recognizing that fall does have some attributes and approbations that she would enjoy, and she enjoyed that. And then Michael, hopefully you can hear me, that my computer didn't go in and out. Michael told us about both second breakfast and a breakfast burrito and about the fall season and the marching band. Now I'm hungry, but please vote for your favorite table topics today. Send them to me. I think I'm on there as Janet, and then I will count up the votes and we will see. And I thank you for that. And now we'll turn it back to our Toastmaster, who's going to jump on it for Toastmaster and then the general evaluator.
All right. So thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. That was a lot of fun. And I want to share something with Miss Shanita. What you can now enjoy and like about the fall is my birthday, celebrating my birthday in my life. Now that we're friends, we're going to celebrate life. So I'm giving you something for the fall time. But I agree with you, Michael. The football and the bands, and that just, that just breeds fall. It's just like such fall thing. So yes, so thank you guys for participating and having some fun. But now it is the time that we pass it over to our general evaluator, and we're going to get into some feedback and some evaluations. So I am going to pass it over to none other than the most marvelous Arturo.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I pro-obey this meeting. This has been one of my favorite meetings so far, and I'll get to it later today. I want to start today with our functionaries. I would like to start out with let's see here. We'll start out with Miss Taisha, our grammarian. How did we do today with the English language today?
Thank you, Arturo. I can say we did great. Everyone spoke very clearly. We could understand what they were saying. The message was received. There was no broken English, where I would just say we all did well. And then the pointers that I wrote down that we can improve is for Miss Mimi's speech, when she uses words like bye Felicia, what that really means for people that don't know what bye Felicia means, like you are terminated. Or hunky dory, meaning that everything's not going to be okay. I've heard a lot of speakers do that. So I think that will be a good pointer that we can improve in, just explaining words, slang words that people not know the definition. But overall, we did great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Taisha. And I think I got a little bit ahead of myself here, because correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Janet or Mimi, but looks like I got to start out doing the round robin evaluation. Taisha, that was a great report. Thank you very much. But I think I jumped the gun here. I jumped ahead of myself here.
So Art, if you don't mind, let me know, how would you like this round robin timed, or how much time would you like to spend or give each person?
I would say let's give each person between 30 and 45 seconds
Gotcha.
of feedback, I would say. And I can start out the round robin and then just work my way down. So we are going to evaluate our first speaker, which is Kim. And the notes that I have here for you, Miss Kim, is this has been one of the best speeches I have heard from you. I can see your progress. Your speaking skills are growing. In this speech, I could see it. Something just told me, wow, her skills are great. I liked how you talked about limiting beliefs. That is something that we can all relate to. I liked your different tone of voice. You didn't just stick with one tone of voice. It was great tone of voice. Great hand gestures. I also like how you got us engaged as well as our audience. You got your audience engaged. That's something that's always tough for a speaker to do, and you did it. That's it for me. The next person who will evaluate Ms. Kim would be Ms. Janet, whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much, Kim. I truly appreciate your speech. The energy was up and you kept it up. You were able to deliver your speech and talk about things with excitement and without nervousness. I see, of course, improvement, but I've always enjoyed your talks. And in that case, I will say that I just want to keep going. I'd love to hear that one again. I'm sure that it will be very, very powerful in your work and in your meetings, and to power up your people. Thanks for your talk. I appreciate it.
Mr. Michael, could you give your feedback to Kim?
Yes, I would agree, Kim, that this is probably one of your best speeches yet. I loved especially the storytelling at the beginning and throughout the whole speech. I felt you were very consistent and had good flow. What I maybe would have liked to see more would be a little bit of more ups and downs in your vocal variety, maybe some more extreme to kind of be more flashy and in our face, and then bring it back down and back up again. So things like that might be something to try out to test your skills, but overall, really smooth speech.
Miss Shanita, could you give Kim your feedback?
Thank you, Kim. I enjoyed your gestures, your energy, your story. I wish I was there. Thank you.
Miss Marilyn J., could you give your feedback, please?
Yes, I'll commend you on being vulnerable and telling your story, and being able to pull it together and to make something good out of it. So you told the story very, very well in reference to the timeline, and I think that is a great speech. Get it memorized so you can make more good eye contact, because when you knew the parts of the story, you were engaging very, very well. So get comfortable with it so you know it. You ain't got to look at that paper, and you can have us all in. We be leaned into you, girl.
Miss Mimi, could you give Kim your feedback, please? I can time it.
So Ms. Kim, I want to say that that was a very strong start. You got right to it. I appreciate that. And I love how you incorporated the 4 agreements into speaking. You know, I'm a big fan of the 4 agreements, so I love that. So I think this is a great competition or contest speech, but because I was the timer, I know that you went over. So keep your timing in mind, you know, when you are giving a speech in any place, so that way you're respecting the stage. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you. Miss Taisha, could you give Kim your feedback, please?
Okay, so my feedback for Kim was she was very excited in her speech. You can see the enthusiasm and what she was talking about. She gave us the 4 agreements. I'm going to stand the 4 agreements as well. She also gave us an extra tip. So it was a good learning experience with an extra tip to move closer to the crowd, and to like find someone in the audience that's your best friend, as if you're talking to a best friend, so it sounds natural. The one thing I would say that Kim can improve in is maybe, I don't know, it's hard to memorize your speeches, but that's what comedians have to do. And so you don't have to look down, because I couldn't notice you were looking down, not that you were reading, but maybe if you have your notes pinned up so you don't have to look down. Overall, speech was amazing. I could see the growth as well. You're a great speaker, Kim. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next person, our second speaker that we will be giving feedback to is going to be Mimi. And I will start out with that one. All right, Mimi. So I love how you were very relaxed and just very, very comfortable speaking. Your eye contact was really good. I actually almost forgot I was a timer because I was so engaged in your speech. But at the 3-minute mark, I remembered, oh, that's right, I'm supposed to be your timer. I would say that your ending was an improvement from last week. So I really liked how you wrapped it up. You gave a good lesson at the end for us, and how it looks like everybody, you had other people in the group who really thought that you made a great decision. So thank you.
Thank you.
And Miss Janet, if you could please give your feedback to Mimi.
Sure, thank you. Mimi, I put it in the chat, most of the things I wanted to say. I agree with Arturo with regard to the improvements that you made from last week. the one piece, of course, is bye, Felicia. And I understand hunky dory, but some of the other things, just think about hunky dory, that's fine, or some little quick thing so that everybody's included when you put those fancy things into your speech. We all want to be a part of what you're saying, and we don't want to feel left out. So the bye, Felicia can mean something that you can say with fun. And that's all I have to say. It's just that I really enjoyed it. I think you should make a little video with it and maybe gloss over something that might be too pointed, but I think it would make a great training video for your people and for the rest of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Kemp, could you please give feedback to Mimi?
Absolutely. Thank you. I also put mine in the chat as well. I love this story. I want to hear it again. It was well put together. The energy was amazing, and you really got your point across. And I love how you ended it with bye, Felicia. So I really got clarity of the story more so this week than I did last week. So thank you for polishing that up. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Michael, could you give your feedback, please?
Yes, sir. Mimi, great speech. I really enjoy the meetings where we have great storytelling. And one or two things that I noticed that I thought I hadn't heard before were some kind of subtly witty phrases that you threw in there. At the beginning, you said, everyone lives on Zoom. I thought that was a little bit clever. And at the end, you said, instead of over my head, you said over my hat. I thought that was also pretty fun and clever as well. Something that I did notice was we didn't get at the beginning of your speech, maybe the first 3 sentences, it didn't feel like it was flowing like you normally do. There was definitely it felt like stretched out pauses between each sentence as you're trying to gather your thoughts. So maybe it's just something to go back and rewatch and just think about for next time. But otherwise, I love the story and I'm glad that you kicked him out. Please don't kick me out.
Thank you. Miss Marilyn J., could you give feedback? Could you give your feedback, please?
Yes, it was a good recap of the timeline of the events and a much better conclusion. If I'm even comparing it to last week, I feel like you put a little more oomph and excitement into last week, but this week you told the story really, really well, and you ended it well also. So good speech though. Yeah, impactful.
Thank you. Miss Shanita, could you give your feedback, please?
Yes, I noted that uncomfortable situations are not something that you prefer to be in, but the universe keeps giving you them to handle, and you handled this situation with grace, professionalism, and I want to hear this story told over and over again as an example of how to handle an agent of chaos. Thank you.
Thank you. And Miss Taisha, could you give your feedback, please?
Okay, overall, great speech. Love Jamila's energy. She put me in the story with her. I felt like somebody that was on the Zoom as well, falling asleep. But I like the part where she, just the fact that she had to fire a CEO. So it's a memorable story because she had to do something she's never done before and letting go of another boss. So I was engaged in that, wanting to hear the end of it the whole time. Just a little bit of constructive criticism is to explain to us what bye Felicia means or what hunky dory means. Or if somebody says fire, that means it's really nice, or, you're excited about something that's fire. So yeah, overall, great speech. Mimi, you're a good storyteller. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you, Taisha. All right. So right now I'm going to need some advice from Mimi or Janet, because I love the feedback was great, but it is 1 o'clock right now. And I definitely want to make sure we follow our rules for next week. So Mimi, should we still go through our functionaries, or should we go?
Absolutely not. We should have cut these things short long time ago, and I apologize. As being timer, I should have been mindful of that we've gone over time. So no, at this point, pass the meeting to Madam President so she can hit the gavel. We can in our meeting on time.
Sounds good.
Go over, it's up to you.
All right, sounds good. I'd say overall, this has been one of my favorite meetings. Everybody in here has great, wonderful things to bring to the table. And I would say more. It's unfortunate we're not going to be able to go over on functionaries, but it is 1 o'clock. So Miss Janet, I am passing things back to you.
Thank you very much. I want to thank our Toastmaster, Miss Marilyn J. And I know when people have to get off, they have to get off. So I will close the meeting in a timely manner, and I will tell you next week who won table topics. Boom, boom.
I do want to fill in rules for next week, though. It's one very important. I actually think, Taisha, you would be a great Toastmaster for next week. Would that something you'd be okay with?
Yes, sir. I'm willing to be Toastmaster next week. Thank you for nominating me.
Yes. And I would say, would anyone like to speak next week? Shanita, Miss Shanita. All right, so I got you down.
Can I do one more and perfect this one? And then that way I will complete my level 2.
Yes, we can do that. I got you down as the second speaker.
Okay.
And table topics master, could Miss Marilyn J., would that be something you would be okay with?
Oh, I was just typing in the chat. Next Wednesday is my birthday.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be out of town, so I can't guarantee that I'll be available. So I don't want to say I'll be available. I may just hop on, but I don't want to take a role if I can't guarantee.
We're going to sing happy birthday whether you're here or not. So
well, hey, if you guys sing loud enough, I know I'll hear it in spirit. So, all right,
You coming to Colorado?
Huh?
You coming to Colorado?
Oh no, South Carolina.
It's a little cold.
Y'all ain't got no beaches there.
Yeah. We don't have, 4 billion years ago, this was beachfront property. And then those mountains popped up. So, you just came a little bit late to the beach, but.
I'm a little late. I got you. Good
nice. One. Miss Janet, would you be okay being the general evaluator next week?
I take any part. Michael also said he would take any part, and I don't think he's been general evaluator for a while, so that might be.
Okay. We'll make him. Okay. I did not see that
I'm
message,
but glad to take whatever. When I started out, I looked at my shoes. I couldn't even do anything, and I had to have somebody with their arm around me helping me out to think one thought at a time. So I'm always happy to do whatever you need. Just pop me into a role.
Sounds good. So just to wrap things up here, I got Miss Taisha as Toastmaster. I got Shanita and Kim as speakers. And then I got General Evaluator Michael.
So one of the pieces that we always find very important for our group is the counter, because that helps us with those filler words. And I'm happy to do that if you don't get someone else. When you're new to it, it's powerful to count those because that makes you think about it all week long.
Okay.
I don't want to steal the thunder from anybody, but just put me in where you need me.
Well, we did skip the kind of report, and the only one that needs to work on Oz is Taisha. She really got with the Oz there at the end there.
Gotcha.
Oh well.
Gotcha.
But I did it 3 times myself, so.
Gotcha. Miss Janet, I'll put you down here for timer just to make sure we want to make sure our speakers get timed well.
Sure.
So got you there for timer, and then just remember to please confirm your roles, and if you're speaking, to please put your intro on Easy Speak and your title on there. And that should be it for right now.
Thank you all.
Thank you guys. Y'all have a good week.
Thank you so much.
Stay
Great job
warm
today,
and
Miss.
Enjoy that birthday party.
Bye, you all. Have a good day.
I sure will, and thank you guys for letting me come and have some fun with you.
Oh yeah, happy birthday. Okay, bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.